Cheers, everyone. I had spit in my mouth at the end there. Why do I spit so much when I film?
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name is Michael Lee Murphy, and we are here once again on the shelf of board games. These are games that we own or have stolen and have not been found out about yet, or have been gifted in some cases. And we're going to be talking about these games right here. So let's go ahead and see what we have on the shelf today. First, we did this shelf over here, which was touching on Days of Wonders products, which we quite like, but we didn't get a chance to talk about. Fuchsia, Small World. This is a fantastic area control game in which you're just all on a map. It's kind of all fantasy based, and the world is just too dang small. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just there's just not enough room for everybody. So you gotta fight, you gotta punch, you know, you gotta take over the native folks of the land, because that's just what history has told us that we must do. And Small World is no different. It's dark. This game is really fun because it has there's tons of expansions, by the way. Okay. But this game has all these different types of creatures. You got things like Amazons and elves and halflings and trolls and skeleton men and rat men. And they each have a trait, a sort of power and ability that these things are randomized. So the combinations really are endless. And a lot of the fun is in, you know, choosing which race you're going to be and how to maximize them and spread out as far as you can before you kind of run out of steam as a people, which will happen. The cool thing is if you play, you know, a game, you're not going to just use one race the whole time. You can only spread your people so thin before you start getting attacked by other people, or you just literally cannot spread out further. And they have this really cool mechanic where you go in decline. So you basically flip over, you remove most of the tokens and just leave one of each of your people spread around, and then you get to choose a new race on your next turn. So really you can kind of have two races going at once. There's certain abilities that allow you to still do stuff even if you're in decline. So it's just a really kind of fun game of trying to decide when's the best time to go in decline, how many times, where to come into the map. Do you wipe out your own old people because it's advantageous for you? Trying to figure out what terrains to take over. It's super fun. One thing that's really cool about this that I really appreciate is every different player count has a different map. So it's always going to be scaled perfectly for the player count from 2 players on up. You know that it's going to create that scarcity of resources that you have to then fight over. And it's a game that's conflict heavy that I don't mind because, like, it's not your fault. We just all live in a world that's too small, so it's going to happen. Sometimes I got to take out my own people, and I don't like that. But it has to happen because it is a small world. One little side note that's really cool is they started putting out, like, expansion combo. I don't know how to refer to it. They basically had all these different expansions that were just different types of races and abilities, and they've released many of these over the years. And for someone like Nick and I, who are kind of late to the Small World game, they are now releasing, like, oh, these 3 expansions in one box, and now those 3 expansions in one box. So now that they're kind of coming out in these little packs, we're going to start getting these expansions, because it's just, that's something that you can do with this game forever. It's just give me more races, more abilities, so that there's more combinations of stuff. Let's go. Next up, we have Seasons. This is a game that we quite like, which people I think know. This is a game that we like to champion. I feel like not enough people talk about it. It's a really fun dice rolling, dice drafting in general game. I'm just trying to think of, this is a game that I think Nick just heard about or saw the art and liked and got, and it was just a really pleasant surprise. So you're going through different seasons, and as you go through the different seasons over the course of 3 years, different elements are more prevalent. So you have fire, earth, air, and water, and you're rolling these dice to try to get these different element tokens in order to purchase and play all of these different types of cards, which will give you points. You can transmute elements to get different crystals and things. So there's just a lot to consider, and you do drafting at the start of the game. So this was the first experience I ever had with drafting cards, was this game, and I really like that about it because a lot of it comes down to what cards are you going to choose, and then once you have your 9 cards, you only have 3 of them in the first year, then the next 3 in the second, the last 3 in the third. So deciding which cards you want to have right now versus which ones you want to wait on, when to draw more cards because there's penalties if you don't play them, the big chunky really satisfying dice. And just choosing what to play, and then also how fast you move time, because there's pips on all the dies, that will speed up or slow down how fast we move through time. So there's just a lot going on, a lot to consider, and it's really fun, beautiful art. I think this lives in the same world as Dixit, maybe art-wise, or I'm messing that up maybe, but either way, really fun. Lebelude game. Seasons. That is seasons. Well, it's on that shelf. You tell me. Oh, it is on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is a good. This game is Mysterium. This game is why we should ever play Clue again. This is a whodunit game. Only the ghost is one of the characters. The person who got it did to them. I think that's right. Is the person kind of controlling everything. So we have here this big board, and the ghost is going to live on the other side of it. And they have all these different combinations of a person, place, and the weapon that was used to kill them. And depending on the players, they're going to be handing out dream cards. It's the only way they communicate with the table. They cannot speak during the game. They hand out these dream cards that are very surreal, just strange, make no sense, kind of like dreams, and they have to pass them out to people to try to clue them into a certain suspect, a certain room, a certain weapon, whatever part of the game that they're in. They're trying to tell all the different players who did it, where it happened, and what it happened with. And then once you have, say, 5 investigators and they all figure out their combination of people, we have to narrow it down further because the ghost can't quite remember what happened. That's why the ghost is saying, like, it could be this person, this person, this person, or that person. And then as we get to the end of the game, we know that one of the combinations, you know, player 3's, their combination is the correct one, and they have just one more opportunity to hand out cards to everybody to try to piece together which of the several combinations is the correct one. It's just super cool, super atmospheric, fun, interesting. It creates lots of great conversation among the table. I really like to play this kind of really open and full cooperative where I'm asking my partners over here, what do you think this means? They say, I think it's that person. The person has a lot of green. It must be that lady over there. And the other person's like, well, there's a fork on there, so it could be the baker, you know. There's just a lot of fun discussion. It takes 42 minutes. What a weirdly specific amount of time. But that is Mysterium. Elephant in the room. This last game is, well, it's a mystery, isn't it? Let's just put it right here. Let's us all see it. This is Dice Forge, folks. I'd like to say it sucks. I'd like to say it's good. I'd like to say anything about it, but unfortunately, I cannot because, I don't know. I've never played it. Cue the sad music. Why haven't you played it, Mike? Well, we're missing a butt ton of pieces. We've talked about it many times on this channel. And we still haven't gotten any word from people. Now, to be fair, before we all go on a witch hunt, we have only reached out a couple times. That should be enough. But, you know, maybe we hit them at a busy time of year. We got this for Christmas. And guess what? Santa's dead, apparently, because this was not a happy, Merry Christmas. It wasn't a white Christmas. It was a black and sad and disappointing end of 2017. 2018 has picked up despite the lack of Dice Forge in our lives. But yeah, I don't know. But we'll talk about the things that I'm excited for this game and why I'd really love to try it to find out if even we do enjoy it, because maybe it's just butt. Maybe the game is full on butt. I don't know. Oh, whoops. Don't tell Nick about all the misaligned boxes. It's a secret. He cares a bunch. You know what my secret is? I don't care at all. So I'd put him on however. This is a cool game where you are going to control and change the faces of dice. How amazing of an idea for someone who has been cursed with bad luck in dice his whole life. Oh my gosh, what an amazing opportunity. I might be able to change my fate. I might be able to forge my own dice. See what I did there? And, you know, change the faces to something that's advantageous. So I can roll, no matter what I do, it's going to roll great because I only have the things I really, really want on the dice. It comes with 8 dice and 108 die faces, or in our case, like, I don't know, 60-something die faces. Yeah, you know, irrelevant. I'm not hung up on it or anything. And you can pop the faces off and put on new ones and buy things. And then I think, you know, you're trying to roll certain combinations for resources, and there's all these tracks. And I think you can use that to buy things. That's really all I know because, again, we have not ever played it. And I would love to because I think it'll be fun and interesting and light and different. But that's Dice Forge? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it's all completely different. Again, I would have no way of knowing. But either way, that brings us to the end of our shelf. Sorry to bring it down at the end there, but I have hope for the future. I really do. Asmodee hit us up about something, and we're going to try to turn it into like a, hey, while we have you here, can you send us Dice Forge again, or at least the pieces we need? That would be fantastic. So hopefully, if nothing else, that comes out of the potential whatever with Asmodee that's going on. So we'll find out more about that in the future. If you would like us to play any of these games live for you, we've had recently a request for Seasons. Small World, I think, would be really fun live. You can always let us know at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, right here in the comments. You can say, hey, play this, you bing bongs, in a nice way, though. Make it a nice bing bong, not a bing bong in a mean way, and we will know the difference. And maybe we can stream them live at twitch.tv/thebrothersmurph, for that is where we go live with these things. We love being live for you, and we're really trying to build up a great audience and stuff. So join us on our Twitch Tuesdays, and usually on Thursdays, or at least another day of the week as well. You can see us there. And until next time, we'll see you guys in a different part of the shelf. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Click them! Click all these things! They're here. Click the videos. Click the videos. Responsible for Restoration Games. Click that link down below to see them. Click all our social media. Click. Too many videos. Too much stuff. What am I gonna do? Too much stuff. I'm drowning all this stuff.